This podcast is part of the Pull Up a Chair podcast network. Let's build community through connection, conversation, and collaboration. Welcome to
How's That Working For You?
Where
We spill the tea about relationships, millennial adulting, or whatever else life decides to chuck at us.
Hey V, what's up?
Hey Kat, have you seen Tiger King?
Of course I've seen Tiger King. I was the one that told you to watch it.
Oh, yeah. That's true. That's so true.
I love how you tried to come up with that on the fly.
Yeah, no, I can't take credit for that. I loved it. As a true crime junkie with my morbid curiosity, I would have to say it is the most lighthearted and bouncy true crime. I wouldn't call it a documentary, but it was one of the more fun ones. And I just came off of watching The Innocence Project, so it was a breath of fresh air.
I haven't watched that one yet.
Make sure you bring some tissues.
Oh god.
And you just breathe afterwards. A lot of breathing.
Interesting.
But back to Tiger King.
Yeah. Back to Tiger King. I knew you would love it. First of all, I highly advise that you watched it because it's gold. It's Netflix gold. I mean, like, honestly, Netflix could not have, like, picked a better time to launch something so salacious and juicy and just, like, straight up trash at the same time.
Oh, yeah. So, do you want to, like, go through the characters real quick?
Oh, yeah. I mean, like, the whole story revolves around Joe Exotic, which, ironically, is a complete narcissist, and he's, like, yucking it up right now in prison.
Yeah. I thought it was really interesting, the specific bias that the producers put into Tiger King, because they really played him up as this, like, hero almost.
Oh yeah, I mean, but, like, he was still trash.
Oh, absolutely. Like, as a person, ugh.
If we're gonna put it, like, frame it that way, he's like an anti-hero.
Yes, actually, that is, like, the perfect explanation of how he was portrayed, was the anti-hero.
Yeah, I mean, like, honestly, it's interesting because I think I had read some articles, and Carole Baskin, the other, I feel like the foil to Joe Exotic, I think that they had pitched this documentary as something that was going to focus more on animal abuse and things like that, like big cat safety or whatever it is.
Did you see the after show that came out? I think it was like a couple weeks ago.
I did. I mean, Carole Baskin wasn't on it.
No, she wasn't on it, but it got brought up that it was presented to her, like, God, what was that documentary about Six Flags and the whales?
Oh, yeah. I forgot what it is, but I know what you're talking about.
Blackfish. Blackfish is the name of it.
It was presented to her like a more of a documentary about saving animals and big cats. I mean, I'm glad they went the route that they did for my own enjoyment, but ethically it's completely wrong. Yeah, well, like, it's just so funny because they focused an entire 1-hour episode just on the fact that Carole Baskin killed her husband.
Allegedly, Cat.
Allegedly. I know. Allegedly killed her husband. I know. I, like, actually, while I was saying that, I was very consciously actually saying it like that because I wanted to be a little bit funny, but, you know, don't at me, bro. I keep, like, defaulting to dead husband, but, like, technically he's only no, but he was declared dead, and that's how he got her. That's how she got his money, though.
You're right. You're absolutely right. It feels so weird saying that a missing person is just dead.
Well, no, I mean, like, technically he's missing, but legally he's dead. Which, honestly, we all probably think he's dead. But yeah. He's like, what's his name again?
Don Lewis.
Don Lewis. Okay, but about Don Lewis, he was a pig of a human being. So he cheated on her. like very openly, I think, right?
Well, the way the documentary framed it is very openly, and I wouldn't be surprised. I get why she stayed in the marriage, because she cared about those cats, even though she's allergic to them.
What?
Yeah, she said that in one of the episodes, that she loves cats, but she's allergic.
I don't remember that detail, but that's interesting.
Well, she said it like it's just such a throwaway line. And
Oh.
I was shocked, like, girl, really? So you're just taking allergy meds every single day? That's commitment. That is absolute commitment.
It is commitment. Oh, you know what? I mean, Carole Baskin, like, I have to hand it to her. She's a genius. With, like, she's an evil genius. I will put it like that. I mean, come on. How did she end up, like, somehow she ended up with all that money, and it, like, it's just, we have to hand it to her, even though she is a horrible human being. Like, honestly, everyone in that documentary is just a terrible human being.
Yeah.
Except for the guy that got his arm bitten off by a tiger. I have so much respect for him.
Speaking of the guy whose arm got bitten off, I thought it was really interesting that during the Aftermath show, he mentioned that Joe Exotic was afraid of the big cats.
Oh, yeah. But, like, it's funny because my boyfriend and I enjoyed it so much, so he, like, put it on again. So I rewatched some of it. And I couldn't, I don't know. It just, like, it seemed very, like, either he's a really good actor, but it just doesn't seem like he's afraid of the cats. Except for that one scene where he was, like, getting dragged away by one of them.
He mentioned that while he was in there, one cat was blind and the other one was drugged. So, and, like, I can get if you're scared of the grown one, which I understand. I am terrified. He was probably not afraid of the babies. He's probably up to a certain size he got scared of in all reality.
That's so weird. I mean, I feel like Carole Baskin and Joe Exotic were very similar in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Like, it's interesting. It's interesting how she's allergic and he's terrified. You know, like, it's not the same, but it's related, you know?
Yeah, they're very similar people, and they say that the other one treats the cats horribly.
Oh my god.
But neither one of the sanctuaries that they were in, like, Joe Exotic's looked a little bit better, a little bit more comfortable, but it's like, damn.
No. I mean, Carole Baskin was, like, saying, like, she just framed her, like, she framed her zoo as a sanctuary. And then I'm so confused because she lied about did she lie about how many cats are on the sanctuary?
It's not clear.
Yeah, because, like, they went, like, Joe Exotic flew over it with a helicopter, and, like, I feel like they never keyed in on whether it was true or not.
Yeah, just like how you can't say that she straight up murdered him, you have to say allegedly.
But yeah, like, the only reason why I feel like Carole Baskin is more favorable to the overall big cat community is because she frames her zoo as a sanctuary. Whereas, Joe Exotic, he framed it as an actual zoo, which is what it was. So I feel like I agree with Joe. Like, I like Joe's perception of it a little bit better. Like, the way he went about defending his zoo, not so much. But...
and some of the stuff he did was a little...
he was a little
questionable.
He was extra.
Oh my god, I liked the extraness. Like, I thought he was very entertaining.
I mean, like, oh my god, he ran for governor as a gay man, like a gay zookeeper.
And god, what state was? I think it was Oklahoma.
No, but he got like 16%.
He got 18.7%. Oh, he also ran for president. You can't forget about that.
That's true. I feel like it was because people were voting for him out of, like, just straight up just thinking it's funny, you know? Or just not caring.
Yeah, actually,
that's a lot considering that he was just doing it for publicity.
Well, I don't think he was doing it for just publicity. I think he actually believed he was going to be governor.
Do you think so? Oh, I think you're right, because that's how narcissists think.
Like, why wouldn't I become governor? I tried.
Exactly. It's so crazy. We need to write that down too. We need to talk about narcissists. Because I've encountered a few of them in my life. Like, narcissists are so fascinating. like Joe Exotic. I mean, he's just, it's crazy how he thought it was okay to just like broadcast videos of himself attacking, blowing up, and stabbing, shooting, like things that looked like Carole Baskin. I mean, like I feel like it happened so much that she just kind of was like, meh, you know, at the end of it all, like.
Well, no, she was not meh. She went after him. Like, she wanted to take everything that he ever had.
That's true. But like when she was watching the actual videos, she's kind of like,
yeah,
like what I was like, I wasn't saying that like she didn't have like an opinion of them, but like she was so desensitized by all the stuff that he was doing that she was like, this is normal. This is my life now, you know, like. But yes, she definitely went after him and took everything he had, which again, like I said, she's an evil genius because she was able to do that. Like she succeeded in doing it, you know. It was just so crazy. I feel like the amount of like the only person that I felt was like respectable was that like was the zookeeper that got his arm bitten off. You know, because everyone, even like the how do you say that, documentarist
it's a. Well, what are you talking about? The documentary itself, or
the reporter guy?
Oh,
the guy that was trying to produce a show for Joe Exotic.
Yeah, that guy.
I mean, he was also like, he was a victim in a lot of ways, but he also had bad intentions too.
I mean, I feel like he was just your run-of-the-mill, greedy, money-hungry kind of person.
Right.
Who didn't really care about the animals or the people that he worked with. All he cared about was getting a good enough story to make money off of it.
Yeah.
And I guess that in the grand scheme of things isn't as evil as some of the other people in the documentaries. It was just kind of like your run-of-the-mill, unfeeling person. That's what he seemed like.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, it's so crazy, like how they edited that documentary. It's like as soon as you thought that nothing crazier could happen, bam, they hit you with something that was like, what the fuck? Yeah.
Yeah, their editor, for the person that edited that show, also there were some amazing cuts done. Like, wow, their producer should get at least an A on this project because they did an excellent job.
They also produced something else that was pretty popular too. I'll have to look it up, but I forgot. Like I think it was it the same people as Love is Blind?
I know the same people who did Love is Blind is also doing the new show,
Oh, is it like Too Hot to Handle or something?
Yep, that's it. That's what it is called.
Anyway, back to
Tiger King.
Yeah, oh my gosh. I loved how they kept, I think his name is Travis. That totally hit me by surprise. When
I know, I thought if anything he was going to cheat and leave like the other husband did.
Joe Exotic, although I feel like he was the anti-hero here, like the hero quote, he was a terrible, terrible person. Like trash. Absolute trash. But yeah, I don't know. I have mixed feelings about Travis's death because it was very, very tragic, but also he was an idiot.
Like, I'm so sorry to his family and everything because it's so tragic.
It is really tragic.
But he was probably hopped up on something, and so he wasn't really thinking, and so he did something objectively stupid.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, yeah. I think it was really smart or creative or just sly, whatever adjective you want to use, but it was very intelligent editing when they decided to finally bring up Travis's death episodes in, because up to that point they still had footage of Travis alive, healthy, and well, and then all of a sudden it was like, bang, Travis killed himself.
Yeah, I know. Like, the way they were framing the breakup, it didn't sound like it was that Travis died. It sounded like it was going to be similar to his first husband, where Travis just dumps him and leaves him. And then it's like, fooled you, he actually died. And it was just another moment of shock factor in the show. It was like, where did this come from?
No, the show kept me on the edge of my seat. I felt like the second I was comfortable thinking, wow, this is weird. It can't get much weirder. They throw in Travis's death. And it was as much as so much respect. I want to remind everyone that this is by no means poking fun at Travis's death, but it was just such a shocking instance. All of the elements that built up to his death. He put a gun to his head and pulled the trigger, which really is sad. And I think of all the people in that show, I feel like Travis's story is the most tragic. You never, no matter what, it could be like a prop gun or whatever. Don't ever put a gun to your head. Like, unless you're like you're legally on a contract filming something where it's like, yes, this, like, I'm an actor and I'm holding a prop gun that could not, like, I feel like that's the only situation where it'd be okay to hold a gun up to your head.
Yeah. And then I would also like to talk about, like, how when Joe Exotic got remarried.
Oh my god.
He, like, had his ex's mom come and then, like, never spoke to her again. And it's just,
that's really
that's
weird. I think that honestly, though, I think that he did a number of things to make his conscience feel a little better about stuff. Like, I felt like that's probably a little bit of why he invited Travis's mom, like, just to say, like, I don't know, his own way of saying, like, I'm moving on, but I still honor your son. I could be completely wrong, though. And he also, like, they focused very little on the fact that he fed the homeless on several occasions, too. Like, he was, I mean, just like any human being, he did some good,
Well, I mean, everybody wants to justify why they're a good person, even if they're not doing good things.
It's true.
And so that's how he justified it to himself. Like, how could I be a bad person if I do X, Y, Z? And then I feel like part of it was for publicity, because it's not like he did anything in private.
Yeah.
Everything he did was publicized.
The only reason why I feel like that was remotely genuine, like feeding the homeless, was because, man, we should look up the name of the zookeeper that I keep talking about, like, whose arm got ripped off. But, like, in the... I love how, like, that's the defining feature of this.
Oh god, I can't pronounce this name. I just looked it up. Let's call him Mr. Saffery, because I can't pronounce that first name. It's Kelci, if you can pronounce it, Kat.
Kelci? Kelci?
Is that how the name Kelci is spelled? No way.
Kelci, yeah.
Alright, so...
I guess, yeah. Anyway, he had mentioned that in the reunion episode, and seemed pretty genuine about it, and was, even though he didn't like Joe Exotic, he defended him on multiple occasions in that, reunion episode. Which, I don't know. It's I don't know. Ethics is on my brain because I'm studying a lot of ethics in, like, my grad school classes. I think it's really hard to be a perfectly ethical person in general. Ethically speaking, if you do anything because you want to be a good person, like, for that specific reason, is it even ethical? For example, there are certain people in your life that you truly love and you will do anything for because you love that person. But then say there's another situation where it's like, I just want to prove that I'm a good person to myself or whatever. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so basically it's like, does the ends justify the motivation? If your motivation isn't pure, then is it even a good thing?
Yeah.
And I think that's a hard one, because you can't ever tell somebody else's motivation behind something.
Give me a piece of advice before we go.
My advice for you, if you decide to hate somebody, don't make hate videos and what are diss tracks about them.
Unless you want YouTube fame.
YouTube fame? No, just straight up incriminating footage of blowing up your what is it? Your opposition, your enemy. I don't even think.
His mortal enemy.
His mortal enemy, who happens to have a lot of money to start legal battles that you will never financially recover from.
Okay, and then my advice for you would be, if you're gonna kill somebody, feed them to tigers and have a lot of money for court battles.
Don't forget to stock up on sardine oil, because apparently that's the secret to baiting tigers into eating people.
You're right, you're absolutely right. I did say that. I will take notes. Allegedly, supposedly.
Just
Don't
remember
compress.
these things. Yeah, remember these things when we have to take someone out, V. You never know.
Alright, see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye!
Off the Dice pulls up a chair with fellow community members to chat about things that are not commonly discussed.
Randomness guaranteed, and we get to know one another.
The humans who tag along with us may vary, yet we all come together through gaming.
Off the Dice is a Time to Tabletop production hosted by Time to Tabletop's very own Riza Cole
And Scooter Hamilton. New episodes drop every other week, so pull up a chair and let's talk off the dice.